Many thanks for joining me on the program, Mr. Oni. Now, the Warri Refinery is currently only producing diesel and dual-purpose kerosene, with expectations to start producing PMS and cooking gas by February 2025, which is just next month. Now, what would you say are the key technical and operational challenges that the refinery must overcome to meet this deadline? And also, how realistic is this projection given its current state?
Okay, to start with, you know that this refinery has been inactive for a long period of time due to operational and maintenance deficiencies. And this is a significant issue which must be dealt with to ensure that the operations are sustainable. And in this regard, you must ensure that all the equipment are fully functional and meet the safety standards crucial for expanding the refinery production to include PMS and cooking gas, for example, because historically we've had irregular crude supply and challenges in product evacuation, and that's in that refinery operations in Nigeria. And you know, for example, that um, for many refineries, technology's changed over time, and there's a lot of integration and upgrade. And in situations where at times you have what is slightly out of date, what refineries now do is to blend. So what I expect should happen is that with those equipment that have been out of date should be put in place. The testing that ought to be done to ensure that everything is in order is done, and also ensure that to the extent that we need to blend, that can be done until the point where we can actually do secondary refinery. Because when you talk about refining, you've got two types. You've got primary and you've got secondary. That's why you hear people talk about naphtha, right? So if you cannot move from naphtha to your PMS and are able to do other things, the best you can do is blend. But if you can get your hydro equipment and other equipment required, then you will be able to do much more than your primary refining. More often than not, particularly for smaller refineries, they do not go ahead beyond, they don't go beyond primary refining because of cost of getting equipment to move from, cost of cracking, right? To move from your naphtha to PMS. So if government wants to do this, then they will have to ensure that that equipment is in place and it's running. Otherwise, it'll stop at an AGO, or at best you may have naphtha. So that's what I think with respect to your question, what they need to do technically, ensure that safety is in place, ensure that, of course, the issues around corruption, and ensure that people don't actually sabotage the efforts of government, and maybe even ultimately privatize that refinery, because refining has a lot to do with efficiency. If you cannot run efficiently, then you find out that you are running at a loss, and at the end of the day, you may even have to shut down production because you'll be competing, right? And if you're not profitable, if you can't be very efficient, you won't make profit.